Hello and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right. Every Thursday, we head into the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world. And there's no grievance that's too big or too small or too frivolous. It's your problem. That means it is a good problem. Not a good problem. I guess that's not the right word. It is a valid issue. All issues are valid. I'm going to make a t-shirt. All issues are valid. Because in the lounge, no one can turn to you and go, wait a minute, my Grammy's sick. No, nobody's Grammy's sick. Your problems, your time, your complaints. My guests and I will complain with you. And if you're new here, that's what we do. We complain. Okay? That's all you got to know. You write your emails, we take your complaints, and we sing a duet of douchedom not to be seen anywhere else in the world. And how do you send in your complaint? JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. That's JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Send in your complaint, title it Luxury Lounge, because we have two shows here, okay? We have JTrain Podcast and we have the Luxury Lounge. JTrain Podcast is a general advice podcast. If you want to be a part of that podcast, just send in your advice question, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. If you want to complain in the lounge, you want to get entrance into the lounge, title it Luxury Lounge. Let us know what you're talking about, like a little Luxury Lounge dash baratada. You know, but I don't know how to explain it better than baratada, but that's what I'll explain it. So this first one's called Luxury Lounge. My mom is too social. There we go. And we're off. So Luxury Lounge, JTrain, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. That's where you send it. In addition, I want to thank you. Thank you for being a listener. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you, because this is a user-driven operation. I don't got a billboard. I don't got a bus poster. I don't got a commercial. Nope. I got you. I got you and your big fat mouth telling your friends, your coworkers, your brothers, your sisters, your mamas, your papas, anyone with ears. We'll take the earless community as well. So you can watch on YouTube. Now, loving YouTube, loving seeing the comments. The comments on YouTube make me feel, so good. Okay, get subscribed to the YouTube channel, because I got all the behind the scenes from the TED Talk I did in Reno. It's 5 parts. It's going to be 5 parts. So at this point on the 30th, when this is coming out, there's 5 like Kardashian style behind the scenes vlogs, and I was wondering how they'd be received. People, I mean, I guess I only hear from love and hate. You very rarely hear from the indifferent. I'm hoping people aren't indifferent to it, but the people that love it really make me feel good. So go on YouTube, check it out, youtube.com/Jared Freid. And I'm on the road. People, this is all just to get you to the show. I do these shows. You guys listen, come to the shows. I'm there to do stand-up. It's a fun time. If you're listening right now, I'm going to be in Springfield, Missouri, Austin, Texas for a Live You Up. The Live You Ups are a blast. Totally different show than a stand-up show. Providence, Rhode Island, Raleigh, North Carolina, Chicago, Illinois for You Up Live, New York City for You Up Live, Dayton, Brooklyn. I'm doing a show at the Coney Island Amphitheater, and it's the Chosen Comedy Festival. Bunch of Jews telling jokes. It's going to be great. It's going to be like you're in the Catskills. So we're going to be in Irvine, California. I'm coming back to Irvine for a full weekend. Washington, D.C., and Albany, New York. So if I always encourage you to bring a friend, because I'm a broad comedian. Broad shoulders, broad ideas. That's right. That's my next t-shirt. Broad shoulders, broad ideas. Jared Freid. It's kind of a douchey shirt. That would be very Gary V of me. Broad shoulders, broad ideas, JaredFreid.com.
The new slogan for Pittsburgh.
That's right.
Because all the tech's moving there. Sorry, I shouldn't have jumped in. Is this...
For Pittsburgh? Because the tech's moving there?
Chicago's the land of broad shoulders. I'm already fucking this
Is
up.
that what it is? But Pittsburgh's the Iron City.
Yeah, something like that.
Iron City. Iron ideas. I don't know. That doesn't work as well. Let's get to today's guest.
Yes.
Hilarious comic. It's his first time in the lounge. Michael Rowland, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me in the lounge.
It's great to have you.
It's great to be here. Are excited to complain?
I think you're going to be good at this. I think you're going to have...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I match people with the show. I think you're going to be a good complainer. I think you'll be good at empathizing with the listenership.
Yes.
You've been on the show. You were on JTrain, but it was a live show.
I was a much younger man too.
Yeah, I think you weren't in New York yet.
I wasn't yet, and I felt like I walked away from that like, woof, I really whiffed that for sure.
No, you didn't. You
sure.
did a great job. I just had Maddie Weiner on.
Oh, she's so funny.
She's so funny.
She's so good.
But it was like you and Maddie Weiner I met like in these weird like, I was like, I need someone.
Yeah.
And they're like, young guy in Atlanta.
Right.
Bring him on. And I go, let's do it. And then you're like, oh, this guy's fucking hilarious. It's going to be great.
Right.
So you killed it. So everyone needs to go follow Michael he has the worst Instagram handle. I told him this. I told you this
years
6 years ago.
Yeah,
I said, it is, okay, let me read it for you. It's at Michael Rolando _O.
Right. And my idea for it was Michael Rowland and then like a face, like a little 2 eyes for the O. And then,
looking at it, I know what you were going for.
Right.
I'm looking at it going, I see, it's like when someone paints something and then they show it to you, you go, ooh, that's good. And they go, don't you see the city? And you go, oh, you're going for a city.
City, for sure.
Yeah,
for
I see the building. That wasn't a stain from your coffee.
Yeah, I'm kind of attached to it. I don't know. I've also been going back and forth between being Michael and Mike. And
I always don't know that with you.
I know.
I've always called you Michael because you introduce yourself as Michael and it's on your Instagram.
I know, but this is funny. When I got passed at the cellar, Esty put me down as Mike Rowland and started booking me on everything as Mike Rowland. So I was like, I guess I'm Mike Rowland now. I bought a domain.
This is how stressful the seller is. They'll give you a new name.
I know.
And you're just like, no, that's my name now.
And now I feel like now I have the confidence.
This is the Comedy Cellar in New York. I've mentioned it many times on this podcast, but Michael or Mike, whatever we're going to go by.
I was trying to lean into Mike, but now I feel like I got away from myself a little bit. I was in New York. I was trying to get around, and I'll be like, yeah, Mike now. And now I'm like, settle down.
New city, new me.
Yeah. And now I have the confidence, I think, to go to Esty and be like, hey, by the way, funny story.
Why do you got to bring it up to her? I wouldn't bring it up to her.
Bring it up to Liz?
Yeah, I think Liz is the...
Yeah, you're right.
Liz is the GM of the
Liz is the one to go to.
Yeah, and just be like, hey, I got to settle switch for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Michael. Michael... You don't present Michael.
No, I present Mike?
I don't think you present any of them.
Oh.
I think you need a stage name. I think you...
What?
Yeah.
What would it be?
I don't know. Smiley face. Rolando.
People told me I have the energy of a Spencer once.
I see Spencer.
Camp.
I see Spencer, and that's disappointing.
They started calling me Spencer at this camp.
That's a hilarious dig. That is the funniest thing. Like, just if someone... Here's the thing about roasting. There's a lot to be made of roasting.
Right.
It's the subtle, you look like a Spencer. And then you're like, I'm not a Spencer. And everyone's like, Spencer.
And now that's your name.
How it works.
Yeah.
It's my favorite type of thing. We had a guy in my fraternity. It's my fraternity. Everyone called him Kevin, but his name was like Hamid.
That's fucked up.
But he was like a part of the house. He lived in the house, a friend to all. And you know why? Because a woman, his name is Hamid. You couldn't have a more, Middle Eastern name. And he's in the fraternity. And I guess one night at a party, some woman goes, "That's Kevin." And everyone was like, that's the funny, dude, that is such a mix-up. It is the funniest thing anyone has ever heard. So then we all just went with Kevin.
Was Kevin a hard partier? Was he from Saudi Arabia by chance?
I don't remember.
Okay, because I was in a fraternity. We had some Saudi Arabians in our fraternity, and those dudes went so hard.
Oh, really?
They were fucking party animals, dude. And there was this one dude, Badr. I remember well. Badr was great, but he used to bring this tobacco from Saudi Arabia. Called Doha.
Oh, okay.
Doha. And it was like this super strong tobacco. And if you smoked it while you were drunk, it was like a brief psychedelic experience. It
really?
Was yeah, dude. They were nutty. Because I don't think you can drink in Saudi Arabia. So then they come here and join fraternities and just go nuts.
They must have looked at a fraternity like, what the hell is this? Women showing up, beers everywhere. Well, listen, we're happy to have Michael Rowland. See, it gets confusing because
it does.
Also, here's the other thing. I know people by their Instagram handle more than I know
do.
their name.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone go follow Michael. at Michael Rowland _O. But if I'll have it tagged on my whole shit. Let's get to the podcast. Oh, you have a podcast.
Yeah.
What's the podcast called?
In the Minivan.
In the Minivan.
That's right.
And what is the concept here?
The concept of the podcast is me and one of my oldest friends, Max Fine, who's a comedian here in New York, but we went to high school together. And we talk about our weeks, and then we jump into music we really love.
Okay.
And we'll play a few songs for each other and try to introduce songs to the audience and maybe take some of their suggestions and play them. And then we improvise scenes and we improvise songs on this loop machine. And it's a lot.
Go listen to the podcast before it gets taken down for all the licensing issues.
We're trying to. We only play little clips of the songs, and then we found if you talk about the songs, then there's like a loophole. We actually didn't really look into it that hard, so it's all going to get taken down.
So before it's called in the minivan. And you're in a minivan taping it. Is that the whole premise?
No, we're in Max's apartment. When I was in high school, I had a minivan that we used to drive around Atlanta and like smoke weed and listen to music.
Oh my God, Spencer in a minivan.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
a
me. Great dig. Spencer pulling up with a minivan.
It was a minivan. Yeah, it was like purple. We bought it from one of the guys that worked at Waffle House, who I found out later is the CEO of Waffle House. We bought the minivan from the CEO of Waffle House, a guy named Walt. And if you go to Waffle House, it's on the menu. It's very small, but it's called Walt's Soup. And that's the man we got the minivan from.
That's crazy. What's Walt's Soup? Do you know?
I've never had. It's just chicken noodle soup. Everybody knows Bird's Chili at Waffle House, but Walt's Soup is also there.
There's a little nugget you can only get here on the Luxury Lounge. So everyone go follow Michael Rowland. Everyone, let's go to my complaint. You ready?
Yeah.
Hit the music. Jared, he has some problems. Jared, he's got some issues to do. Get off his chest right now. Jared has a lot of issues.
How did you make this song?
Listen, you sing on your podcast. With we all have our hidden talent.
This is great.
That we can discuss. Can you relate to the problem now? No. Okay, my complaint this week is stop talking about. This is my people with children.
Mm-hmm.
Stop talking to me about your children without teaching me what that means.
How do you mean?
For an example, someone the other day was like, "Oh, my 2-year-old. They're such a 2-year-old," and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What 2-year-old is different than 5-year-old. I don't know if a 2-year-old is reading, writing, arithmetic. Is a 5-year-old still in diapers? Your single friends with no kids have no relation to whatever you're going through.
Yeah, we don't know your
with
developmental
your kids.
stages.
We have no idea what a 2-year-old is, a 12-month-old, a 24-month-old,
right.
a 7-year-old. We have no idea. To me, it's baby, kid, adult. Or, baby, kid, teenager, adult.
Yes.
So that's how my brain works. And I'm not saying that this is right. I'm just saying relate to the audience.
Yeah.
Parents never relate to the audience. Like if I had an audience full of teenagers, I would know there are certain things I have to explain. If it's an audience full of old people and I'm talking about, FaceTime, and they'd be like, what the fuck? You okay? If I had an audience full of grandparents, I'm not like, hey everybody, the Amazon Fire Stick. Like I'd have to explain where that's coming
their
from.
Context.
Like they'll look at you and be like, oh, my 2-year-old is just, is really having a tough time with the pacifier. I'll be like, I'm single and alone. I'm 37. I have nothing. The closest thing I have to a pacifier is like a paper straw that I'm sucking on.
Or a titty, dude.
That's right.
Let's go.
That's right. That's the only thing I have in common with your baby. Sucking titty.
Let's talk about that.
That's right.
How's your baby doing with that?
Well, that's the thing. That's the complaint comes in. Is like when you get talked to about someone's kid, you just go, oh, yeah,
for sure.
Totally. Like no one you're talking to about your kid who doesn't have a kid knows what the fuck you're talking about.
No.
And I am sitting there feeling like a dumb fuck. And I'm like, and I am that guy going, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, I'm drinking milk. And I'm like, yeah, we're both drinking fucking milk from the titty, right? And like, you're the idiot. You just feel like you're a child.
Yeah.
Because they're assuming you're adult enough to have this conversation. And it gets annoying.
Do you have any nieces or nephews or anything like that?
No, that's the other thing. That's because I am so far removed. Like I have a younger brother, both of us, no kids, no nothing. So it's not like I even have hearing from my brother. No, at 2 they do this.
Right.
You know, I don't have any relation. I don't even think my parents know what the hell. You know, I think you grow out of it too.
I think they just forget shit too.
Yeah.
I asked my parents about stuff I was doing as a kid all the time, and they're like, I don't fucking know, dude.
Yeah. We got through it.
Yeah.
You know, they as soon as like you're done with baby things, I think you just want to forget it.
Yeah. Because it does sound hard and slightly miserable in that you do grow to resent your child a little bit in those developmental stages.
Oh my God, when these parents look at me and they go, oh, I just haven't slept, you know, the baby. I go,
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
My favorite is when you talk to a guy that just had a kid and you're like, so how's the baby? And he's like, I don't know. I don't really, you know. I don't really have to do a lot now. They were just born, so it's more on her. And I'm like, okay.
Sounds like she's happy.
Yeah. Sounds like things are going really good.
I just have no relation to that spot of life. And it's like, I hate when someone like, if I was just like, yeah, I got spots tonight at the comedy club, and they were like, well, what does that mean? I wouldn't be like, well, you don't know my job?
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I have to explain. There's a whole backstory. That's why it's annoying to like bring up what you do for work. You have to bring someone in. You have to do a lot of backstory. People with kids never do a backstory.
Well,
let's go to Michael's complaint.
My complaint.
Hold on.
It's the guest's turn to complain. They're ready to jump in.
I am.
He was ready.
I'm very ready.
They've
Almost too
got
ready.
lots of problems too. It ain't all about Jared. Let's hear their complaint of the day. Let's hear their complaint of the day. They're invited on the show to have some fun and complain with you. Let's hear that complaint.
Okay, so this one is weird. It involves. I think my complaint is women from Portland.
Okay, the views expressed here on the Luxury Lounge are that of the guests and are not.
No, it was
can't
very
just come
specific.
out and go women.
I didn't. I think it's the
We have
Portland.
a Portland, Washington.
Portland,
Oregon. Sorry,
Portland,
that was a
Oregon.
big fuck up.
But still,
Shelby's hometown.
Oh, really? Well, now this feels bad.
His mom. Shelby said, "Light her up." Yeah, Shelby's mom. You're speaking directly to Shelby's mom. I love Portland, Oregon. Don't get me wrong. And next time I come back, I want to sell all the tickets in the world. Don't let Michael Rowland. But women of Portland, Oregon.
I think I've never been. No,
I didn't know Rowland was such a misogynist.
What? No, okay. It was specifically this lady that I talked to at a bar the other night, and we were just talking, having a nice conversation, and then out of nowhere, boy, I don't even know. Oh boy, howdy. We were talking, and then she's like, "So how's things for you?" I was like, I think I've been struggling a little bit lately with some stuff, trying to work some stuff out. She goes, "Oh, what ails you, white man?" And I was like, this is the gear we're gonna like fucking flop into.
Was she a white woman?
Yes, of course she was.
Yeah, that's the most enraged.
And then I was like, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily.
Thank God. She would have been escorted out of the lounge because this is why the lounge was created.
Yeah.
Is that the idea that because you are a certain type or because you're the idea, and this is what happens when victimhood gets commoditized, which it has in a certain way. Like everyone knows, like you can victim in any sense of the word. You have people out there, they'll find a way to make themselves a different version of a thing. So, if that's to be commoditized, now you have people that you're like, in some people's minds, there are people who are allowed to complain.
Yeah.
And people who are not allowed to complain.
Right.
And it's like, that's why the lounge was created.
We're all allowed to complain.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're from. how much money you have or don't have, or who you have in your life. You come in the lounge, you complain. The idea that you're having a nice conversation with a woman, were you attracted to her?
I was initially.
Well, now you're not. Yeah, I'd be out.
But then she took a chance to like just get on her soapbox and be like, "Listen, I mean," she was like, "Tell me what your privilege has gotten you lately." And I was like, "Listen, I'm not against, you know, I of
so
course
you literally
I know."
opened up to this person.
Yeah,
you go,
And
they
she just-
seem nice. I can trust them. And you go, you know, just having a tough time mentally lately.
Yeah.
White man with
And
no
then she was
problems.
like-
Mental health isn't an issue these days.
And she was like, "I get it. I'm a white lady, and you know what? My privilege gets me stuff all the time." And then she's like, "You know what happened today? I got pulled over in my car. I had a bunch of plants in my car." She like runs a plant shop. She's like, "I have all these plants in my car, and I got pulled over, and he gave me a warning." So I see my privilege, and I was just like, "How did this become?"
How did we get here?
I thought we were gonna have a nice conversation, maybe, open up a little bit, and then I was
it's
just like,
also
"Oh,
what
geez."
she's doing is she's letting you know we both got it easy. We both have privileges.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you
yeah.
have more than me.
Right.
She's leveling.
And then she was like, "But no. Let me tell you how I." And I was like, "Oh, okay. If we want to make this like a virtue signaling thing, obviously, yes, there's a certain amount of privilege, all this stuff. But it's like, is this what you want to make it all about right now?"
Is this how you have a conversation with
Yeah,
another human being?
exactly.
Like the idea that this is, and the real, you know, the luxury issue too is you can't go, "Hey, this is a crazy way for two people to converse."
Yeah.
You know, the idea that I don't know that there are other ills in the world or that people have it harder than me
Yeah.
because I bring up my own personal issues is insane.
Nutty.
And it's like, it's not like you looked at some homeless person on the street and you're like, "Oh my God, I got it hard too."
Yeah.
You know, you didn't do that.
No.
It wasn't a comparison. So to bring it there, it's like, yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah. And that was just, I guess that confirmed for me because I'm from the Southeast, so I've always, I guess, perceived the Northwest. I've never been there, but it's just like, I don't know, very virtue signaling and like.
Well, it's a personality trait.
Yeah.
You know, there are ways to not, you know, there's a way to imitate a personality, you know, and imitate interesting.
Yeah.
Imitate opinions. And it's like, she's coming in with, here's a way where I've sounded, people have lit up at parties before. I've watched other people get a reaction out of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to repeat it to you in one-on-one because really there's no one else here to refute me. You can't refute her because you would sound like whiny white guy who doesn't admit to it. But, you know, there's the thing is, if you strip all context and nuance out of a situation, you know, that's why the internet is like the land of like whoever can be the most right wins.
Yeah, exactly.
And she did kind of a version of that with you.
She did.
I would be like, "Hey, it was great talking to you."
That was kind of, yeah, I listened to her talk a little more than I was like, "All right, this has been lovely evening. I think I'm going to head out."
You know. Well, it's almost like a test both ways. Like, that's how you know you get it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I mean, we're two white guys agreeing that you get it, that you have privilege.
Totally.
Yeah,
I do feel weird about bringing this up. I was like, "Oh boy, we're just going to dip our toe in this."
No, but it's annoying. It's like you opened up to this person, and it's like anyone can find a way. Like, if you are honest with someone, and you're vulnerable,
Yeah.
people can burst that balloon so quick,
real easy.
That's actually like that's like, I guess the meaning of vulnerability is like you gave yourself. You're like, you took off your breastplate,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, I can take off this armor now, and I can show you the things I'm going through." And she's like, "Boom!" And you're like, "Fuck!"
All right, well, I'm gonna head home.
I did this thing on TikTok where I was like the whole short king thing going on.
Right.
So there's I think short king is stupid.
Okay.
I think it is people, it's low confidence people trying to bring people to their low confidence level by poking at something they know is someone's issue.
Yeah.
I've never really had a height complex, but now even talking about it, I sound like someone with a height complex. Like even us talking about this right now. So you're in a position of no win with the short king. And there was basically the short king thing is women are saying, "That's my short king," trying to prop up someone who might not be who hasn't been given credit
Sure.
before. I
might
guess.
be insecure about.
Might be
their height.
insecure, but here's the thing: if it's fun, then it should work both ways. Like I can't do,
My Amazonian queen.
Yeah, big old tit spring. Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't go. I just don't think it would go as well.
No,
like
no.
the joke wouldn't be fun.
No.
And if and then someone was like, "Yeah, I'm propping up my short kings." I was like, "I hope you're fucking one." Like
too.
that's the prop up that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
When if you're not and you're saying it about your friend, you're kind of like pointing out something that they're not looking to point out.
Oh, thanks.
I guess. And then you can't disagree with it.
Yeah.
Because if you disagree with it, you go, hey. So I put out this TikTok where I was like, and it was meant to be making fun of myself. Like I even said, I was like, this short king thing, it's a bad thing because it's so subjective. We need to know what the height is.
Yeah.
That separates short from and I was like,
You got guys that are like 5'9", being like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
I'm average. So I
Yeah.
said, how in a world like
Aren't you average? Aren't you like 5'10"?
I'm 5'8.5". I always say 5'8".
Yeah.
The average height is 5'9".
Yep.
I undersell, over deliver. So I'm already like
I do
at the
that
front-
too. I'm
yeah.
like 5'7" and 1/3. I'll be like 5'7".
Yeah.
You
Give you-
shave it.
I'll give you.
Yeah.
I'll give you a third of an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you play with it. Let that do to your mind whatever it does to your mind.
I tried to write a
Right?
joke about that I'm doing on
Really?
the apps. Yeah, I go 5'7" because in my mind she's gonna come on the date and be like, "Hold on, says you're 5'7", but
I have people all the time that go, like, it tricks people.
Yeah.
If you go under, I have people go, no, just like you just said I'm 5'10". I'm like,
yeah,
no. And then I say it's under. They go, oh, you present.
I've never thought of you as short.
That's the thing. So I'm saying, how do I defend my Now I'm in a position to go, short king. I'm like, no, I'm average.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
average. So
yeah,
that was a good
yeah.
joke, is that I'm yelling at someone that I'm average.
Average Prince, leave me alone. Dude.
Yes. So it's like, and then all these women kept writing in and be like, no, you're short. And it's like, you're not even having fun with this fucking joke.
Yeah.
You're not even, you saw me vulnerable with yelling I'm average. And you're like, that's not enough. Boom. And it's like, that's what this woman did to you. You're opening up to her and you go, oh, finally I can.
I think sometimes women want to do a teasy thing with a guy. They like to take shots, and I like to be teased.
Sure.
But I like in that way. I'm just like, man, this is your go-to maneuver. Because
Well-
if this is your go-to maneuver, then I don't think we can hang out because it's just going to be.
It's just like,
gonna
when does
suck.
it end?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
And here's the thing. You being called, what was the name you were given?
Oh, Spencer.
Spencer.
Right.
Spencer, being called Spencer when that's not your name, very male.
Yeah.
Very much dudes being like, you're fucking Spencer, dude. You don't see that a lot
Right.
with female friend groups. There's much more like they hang out. Listen, they have great things in their own way. Like this,
Yes.
listen, if I could have not the ball busting that I had to grow up with, maybe I'd be better off.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying we have a level of practice with, when do I give a hard shot? When
Right.
do I give a light shot? Sometimes you meet women, they're like, bam, and you're like, whoa, you came in
yeah.
fucking hard. Like,
This hurts.
this hurts. Yeah,
I'm going to act like you didn't hurt me, but you just hurt me a little bit right there.
Let's get to the lounge. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com.
I'm excited for these.
We're sponsored. The JTrain is brought to you by Factor. When the weather is nice, you want to spend less time in the kitchen and more time doing stuff you love. Factor makes it easy for me to eat clean 24/7 with fresh, never frozen, prepared meals that are so delicious you wouldn't believe they're actually good for you. Factor now offers 30 meals per week, so you can choose from a variety of new meals every week. Each Factor meal arrives pre-prepared and ready to eat in 2 minutes, faster than ordering a pizza. Just listen to some of their options. Vegan and veggie meals, low-calorie options, cold-pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, plant-based bars, and extra protein and veggie sides. I love Factor. I love what they're doing. Here's the reality is, if you're looking to get healthy, if you're looking to cut a little bit, it's your portions. Portions. When you shop for yourself and you cook for yourself, you end up making more than maybe you probably should, even though you're probably trying to do the grilled chicken, trying to do the low carb pasta. Factor is going to make sure they give you a beginning, middle, and end to your meal, and it's going to be delicious because they're making it with chefs better than you. So I want to give you some free money. Head to go.factor75.com go.factor75.com/ this is a mouthful of a URL. Okay, let me slow it down. Go.factor75.com/ JTrain120. Use code JTrain120 to get $120 off.
Holy shit.
So the journey, the juice is worth the squeeze, okay?
Yeah.
Because this is a long URL, but if you get to the end of it, you're going to get $120.
That's awesome.
So go.factor75.com/ JTrain120. Use code JTrain120 to get $120 off. The code is going to be JTrain120 at go.factor75.com/ JTrain120 for $120 off. It's going to be in the notes of the episode, so you can click that URL, use code JTrain120 for $120 off. Okay, here with Michael Rowland, the minivan podcast.
In the
minivan.
Yes,
Go
sir.
at Michael Rolando. Are you ready to head in the lounge?
I'm so ready.
Luxury Lounge. My mom is too social. Jared and Guess. My Luxury Lounge complaint is something that drives me insane nearly every time I talk to my mom on the phone. She is extremely social, and somehow I manage to always catch her while she is around other people. Without explaining to either myself or the people around her, she will go back and forth between multiple conversations to the point where I'm usually waiting for 5 minutes while she wraps up whatever thought that Lori needed to hear while I was asking about what to do for Dad's birthday. It's infuriating. She has done this my whole life, and yet I still can't tell what she said was meant for me or someone else. Sincerely, Silent Son. What do you think?
Holy
So this
shit.
guy's mom is too social.
Yeah.
Anytime he's talking to her, she's talking to 7 people at once.
I see people like this in the street all the time where they're just like keeping up a FaceTime call with somebody while they're doing other stuff, and I'm like, who does this?
It's the worst part of calling home. I totally understand that. I call home, hey, Mom, how you doing? She's going, where's the thing with the thing? And I'm like, are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Are you talking to... No, I'm out. I'm playing golf. What? Elaine? And I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I don't think my mom understands that not answering is an option.
Of course.
Moms see kid calling, open up no matter what.
Yeah.
And they don't, and then they got you. And you can't go, and you're sitting there, and it's like, you're not going to be like, click, fuck you, Mom.
You
like,
never
you
do
don't,
that?
you can't.
You're never just like, hey, let's do this later.
Sometimes she called me, my mom got COVID.
Uh-huh.
And I called her, I'm like, hey, how you feeling? And
Right.
she was going,
Being a good son.
Being a good son, how you feeling? It's just, I have no strength. I'm really sick. And I go, it's going to be better, get some fluids. And, this conversation already is a little downer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, ugh, I got to get off the phone. Like, I'm trying to live my life here.
Right.
And she's going, I just don't know. And then all of a sudden she starts going, coughing directly in my ear.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, and I keep, and it's like, if I was coughing into the phone, I would go, I'm sorry, let me call you back.
Yeah.
My mom, because she has me. And I'm going, and I'm like, can you at least, like, it almost is like she wants to let me know how sick she is. Like, it's like
Into
she
the
turned
phone.
the speaker.
Yeah.
And it's like she's just trying to let me know you don't listen enough. It's like I wanted, and I couldn't hang up. Like, I'm gonna call. What if she died?
Yeah. No, you're waiting.
I'm waiting the whole time. And it got to the point where I started laughing because it was like 7 minutes of like, and I go, why don't you call me back? She goes, I don't know. Every time I call you, I just start coughing. I think it's because I'm calling you. And I'm like, then hang up. Or like go like this. Like when I sneeze, I get off the phone.
Yeah. How much worse would it have been if she was doing all that, but she was like at the grocery store, like, and can I? Please ring up the peas.
Yeah. I'm like, are you wearing a mask?
Go home.
I thought I was going to get COVID through the phone. It was really unbelievable. But it's like, I think what moms do is they love you so much that they just, when they get you, they hold you.
Oh, yeah.
As an option, because they don't want to let you go, because they know you're going to come back when you come back.
Right.
So they're like, oh, let me talk to Lori, and then I'll get, oh, yeah, 1 second. They're like keeping you on the line.
Yeah. I would say my mom, when she's out, she just won't answer. Like, I've called my mom because she's busy. She has her own company. So like I'll call her and she'll be like, I'm doing something. And then like she'll be like, I'll call you back. And then just won't call me back. And I'm like, all right.
I get that too. It's in between. It's either you got me or nothing.
Yeah.
Like my mom will pick up the phone before the second ring.
Yeah.
And you're like, were you just like waiting for me to call? Like, were you just staring at your phone? Like, what? Yeah. Hello. And I'm like, it's either the most busy or the least busy.
Right,
and then the minute the phone gets picked up, we're all in. Like, everyone's involved.
Yeah.
Talking to my dad, talking to the grocery store, talking to me. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Michael Rolando at Michael Rolando _O.
That's right.
Oof.
We'll change it eventually.
Luxury Lounge, USB cube shortage. All the feathers to you and your guest. I have a Luxury Lounge complaint that I hope a lot of people can relate to, or maybe not, as I only wish this annoyance on my worst enemy. I feel like everything I order these days that needs to be charged or plugged into power does not come with an actual wall plug-in anymore. Everything comes with a USB cable now, but there's usually not a cube or USB dock included. This means I have to spend extra money buying extra USB ports and docks and cubes, and usually I don't even know ahead of time that it's needed, so I don't even get to use the item that I ordered as soon as it gets there. I have to wait until the wall adapter I had to now order arrives so I can plug it into the power or charge the item. Well, I think you're being a little dramatic.
I think this does feel a little dramatic.
You have other things a USB cord could go into. I agree with the complaint.
Sure.
It's the complaint is we have no cube that goes with the USB cord.
And spending extra money, which is never
always a valid complaint.
Always.
The issue is, well, they write, why would things like this come without being able to be plugged in? If I don't have an extra cube or adapter lying around, the only other thing in my house I can plug a USB cord into is my laptop and computer, and there's no way I'm going to be charging my electric toothbrush, single-serve blender, kids' toys, or other things like that on my desk. Then on top of it, now I'm left with all these cords that can only be used to charge the one specific item it came with, and I have to keep track of it all. There has to be a better way. Please tell me other people have noticed this. I am not crazy. Sincerely, Unplugged and Short-Circuited.
Okay.
They're not crazy.
Not crazy.
Here's the problem with complaining is you can't go off the complaint cliff.
Yeah.
Because then everyone backs away from you.
Exactly.
We need to create a small militia that agrees on one thing and one thing singularly, and it's that there's not enough wall docks that come with the USB cord.
Right.
That is the complaint. And what happens is, and the real complaint, and what they didn't mention and what they should mention is, and they did mention it, that they don't want to like plug everything on their desk. Yeah, we don't want to have to unplug one thing to plug in another.
Right.
So that's what happens. Is like you only got, you have your one USB cord and you have to like, you have to use it to do your phone, your extra charger, your AirPods, your headphones, right?
Right. And well, this is where it goes off the cliff for me is just the complaint. I order something off the internet. It miraculously shows up at my door the next day and I can't use it immediately. And it's not even anything new.
Yeah.
How many other things used to come and you're like, oh shit, it needs batteries. And then you got to go buy batteries.
Because they can unplug something else and plug it in immediately.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. We have to stay... In the lounge, things get changed from the lounge. We've changed the world here. We have a lot of things we've changed. We cannot get down the road of cartoon.
Yes.
Right? Because what happens is then you lose our singularity. Because
some of our validity.
Our validity, yeah. You can. So when you say like, "Oh, I get things in the mail and then I have to wait until the plug comes," well, you have another wall dock.
Yes, you do.
But I would say they're not crazy at all because I notice this when I go to a hotel. Here's the problem: the real issue is that the USB wall. There are not enough USBs in the wall.
Right.
They're basically assuming that the wall has both plug and USB.
Mm-hmm.
That is behind. Our buildings are behind the USB usage.
Right.
You go to some of these hotels and it's either one or the other. It's either 6 USBs next to the bed and you're like good to go.
On the desk lamp.
On the desk lamp, and then or it's nothing.
Right.
And you're like, we're in between. So I have to walk around with a satchel with every plug. And there's some hotels where I'm plugging in, everything's good to go.
Right.
And then there's other hotels where I'm like the 8 nights of Hanukkah. Like I gotta make sure I got enough oil to last throughout the week, and I can do one plug, and then I'll replace the plug with my phone, and replace the plug with my USB, and replace the plug with my AirPods. And I'm really, I mean, I have to hire an assistant to keep changing all the things that need to get charged over the course of the day.
Of course.
So this is an issue. We need the wall mount, not the mount. We don't need the plug. We need the structure of America to change.
And I think it will eventually, right? I mean,
we're heading that way, but we need like the buildings to be all knocked out. Like this building, the plug here. I'll show you. I bought a full-on plug. This has it all.
Yeah. So I have a power strip in my room with all the USB.
And that's the thing. You have to. This is my adaptation.
My
to the world
my bedside table came with you plug it into the wall and then it's got 2 USB things sticking up out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is very helpful.
Very helpful. It is a form of luxury that we will not see as luxury 10 years from now.
Of course.
Every wall will have the USB.
More and more pieces of furniture will have a USB connector piece to it.
I'll know the world is right the minute I can sit on the toilet and I can plug my phone in from the toilet.
That's where it needs to be plugged in. Let's be honest.
That's really
where you need juice. That's where you lose it.
That's right. Every toilet should have one of those the ones that reject. I look like I'm whacking off, but you can pull a thing and it goes,
and then you pull it once and it
flies back in. Yeah, the retractable cord should come right from the front of the toilet seat and have all the options. Mm-hmm. The Android, the Apple iPhone. The Kohler unveils the next generation. Shelby coming in from the cheap seats. We have breaking news here on the Luxury Lounge. Kohler unveils their next generation Numi Comfort Height toilet with USB and Bluetooth enhancements.
Oh my Lord.
We ask and we shall receive. 2 years ago, Kohler introduced their state-of-the-art $6,400 Numi toilet mechanism with a shitload, slew, of features that include an automatic opening and closing lid, a self-cleaning bidet with adjustable controls for temperature and water pressure, an illuminated panel, and even an integrated speaker system that connected to it. I would never leave this toilet.
No.
I would never. There's no reason.
The height of luxury. It starts with the rich and it'll trickle down.
It's going to trickle down.
Yeah.
First comes the 6,400 version.
Poor people have bidets now.
That's right. They've sponsored this podcast.
Really?
The attachment. It used to be the bidets were for the rich, and then finally it worked its way down to us. We had an attachment.
Like
you're gonna get that cord. That's when you know you're living in the future. That is my version of the flying car.
Let's hope that's self-cleaning too, like the bidet, because that will build up some grime. That cord
it's going to be
rips
gross.
out.
Yeah.
It's going to be nasty.
We're sponsored. The JTrain podcast is brought to you by Rothy's. Have you ever seen someone wearing a colorful pair of shoes and thought, dang, those are cute? They might have been Rothy's. Rothy's are the perfect shoe for commuting and traveling. Everyone notices them. Rothy's is known for their chic, pointed flats, but that's just the beginning. They have tons of iconic head-turning designs and bright but sophisticated colors. I have the Rothy's driving shoe. I have it in a gray camo. It gets comments everywhere. People love them. I love them. They're comfortable. The minute you put them on, I don't wear socks with them. No blisters, no nothing. Beautiful shoe, comfortable, great for a night out, great in between work and all that stuff. So Rothy's work great with every outfit. Wear them with yoga pants or dress them up for a night out. Your new favorite shoes are waiting. Discover the versatile styles you can wear absolutely anywhere and get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/JTrain. That's ROTHYS.com/JTrain for $20 off your first order. Woo! Free money here with Michael Rowland at Michael Rolando _
I like that you pitch it as free money.
It's the truth.
That's good. That's good.
Do you want free money?
I
got it
money.
for you. I'm just sitting here. Cash money with big bags with a dollar bill on the side.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Luxury Lounge. Gross babies.
Let's go.
Jared, Feather, I'm 25 years old, and a lot of my friends are having babies. I am so sick of people posting pics of their newborn babies with all the gross birthing fluids on it.
Oh, shit.
I feel like I'm the only one who feels this way. I'm sure birth is a great experience, but seeing your baby with its nasty crusties on my timeline is not a great experience. Please clean your baby off before showing them to the world. Rant over. What do you think?
I respect it. For sure.
Totally agree.
Yeah. People, it's that impulse to just share more than you need to. It's like,
well, it's not an impulse. I think this is very much a... Listen, this is... The internet is... The only things that get retweets are I hate and I love. So everyone's trying to stand out. The bothersome part of this is like they got to go grosser with the baby to get more attention for the baby. Just having it swaddled isn't enough. That ain't getting you the likes you want.
No.
They said, no, I got to go big. Throw some fucking mucus on this.
That's
Everyone
right.
spit on the baby.
Doesn't matter if your baby's ugly or not once
No.
it's covered in your fucking innards.
This is the thing. They want a shock. Shock gets likes.
Get a shock like.
It's going to end up on the For You page. And it's like, I don't understand. This is the problem. I get when a company's like hashtag, babies, and they're trying to like pop off on or I get when a comic is like hashtag stand-up comedy so that you end up on a For You page and you get a new fan. I don't understand the need to outdo people when you're just normal everyday Joe or Jim.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there going, no, everyone get some mucus together. Spit on the baby. We need it wetter. We gotta
spit on it. Yeah. No. Good. Yeah.
That's good. Right. Yeah, we gotta really make this baby pop on Instagram. It's like, what are we talking about? This is the thing. This is a natural progression. This is about everyone's trying to get likes. Everyone's trying to pop off. Everyone wants their baby to get the attention that they think it deserves. And the only way to get it is if this baby is just soaking wet with placenta.
Of course.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, shock and awe, baby.
That's right. And we're doing it with babies. We're doing it with, you see pictures like, I saw a picture on Instagram. It was someone's like dog that was dead. And you're like, well, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, you could have just put up a nice picture of the dog living its best day.
I've seen some stuff on Instagram where I was like, oh man, especially with the baby stuff where I was like, you didn't need to do this.
And I understand, like, everyone posts for them.
Right.
I get that. But then you go, I guess I'll keep scrolling. Like, and I kind of feel where this guy's saying, this person, whoever they are, is like, they said, I feel like no one else is saying anything. You're not allowed to say anything.
No.
No. You can't be Mr. Miserable. Hey, clean up that baby before you post it.
Yeah, because then you're just a person that doesn't celebrate life.
You're anti-baby.
You're anti-baby, which isn't good.
These are the conversations we have, loudly in the lounge, we have these conversations that are had in the alleys. These are
by the dumpsters.
These are the whispers in the street that we make you feel normalized for.
Right.
Because I am looking at the baby going, well, that's a fucking wet baby. I had a friend, someone just posted a picture of their newborn, and I'm looking at the picture, and I'm looking at the guy, I go, wow, look at that forehead. And then I sent it to like 4 friends, and like the first thing I thought.
I love that.
I was like, thank God.
I love that.
You feel the internet makes you feel connected and alone at the same time, and then you go to the group chat, and you're like, phew.
I just love the idea because Instagram will show you how many people have shared your picture. You know what I mean? You're like, oh wow, look at all these people sharing it. And it's just a group chat with like big ass forehead, huh?
Yeah, a portion of your shares is shit talk.
Yeah.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Luxury Lounge complaint. Father-in-law won't stop humming.
Ooh, interesting.
Thank you for everything you do. I have an in-law complaint, and my friend, also a longtime listener, and I knew we had to bring it to you specifically, both for validation and advice. My in-laws were visiting last weekend, and I kid you not when I say that my father-in-law hummed loudly and melodically for the entire weekend, 24/7, no breaks, except for when he was eating and talking. So you can imagine I served lots of food and interjected with random questions during any millisecond of silence. I frequently had to leave the room, hide in closets, etc., just to get a moment of peace and quiet. Here's the thing. When I brought it up to my husband after they left, he looked confused and said, huh? Didn't notice that. That's grounds for divorce. And then he changed the subject. This is bewildering to me. This would be horrible for anyone to endure, but to add insult to injury, I have misophonia, a condition in which individuals experience intense anger when they are confronted with certain sounds made by other human beings.
Oh, shit.
So, like, you hear chewing and you get angry? You're like viscerally like affected by it. Misophonia. I've never heard of that. Is there anything I can do about this, or do I have to endure this humming-filled life? Please help. Love, an angry hummingbird.
Damn, I think it's hilarious that the son didn't recognize it, just because he's probably grown up around it his whole life, and it's just fucking white noise to him.
Right? It's like when the smoke alarm beep has been on for so long that you forget it even exists.
Exactly.
It becomes a part of your daily life. What do they do?
I do feel bad for. I mean,
no, this is horrible.
This is,
and because again, you have to be respectful to your elders.
Of course.
It's your
and
husband's
he's trying to
dad.
denote that he's enjoying himself. Usually,
humming it comes with happiness.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes I'll do stuff like that in my apartment. I don't be egregious with it, but it's just like a little signal to your roommates, like, "Hey, I'm in a good mood."
Yeah, and you are turn off the music. You're that person.
Yeah.
If you're against humming, hey, shh. No one wants to be the librarian.
But I mean, this amount of humming. I mean, what happens if he's watching TV? What happens if you're on a phone call? He's just over there fucking humming the whole time?
I have one solution, two solutions. She says that he's humming the entire weekend, no breaks except for when he's eating and talking. So what the fuck? I'd start humming in the silence.
Yeah.
I'd continue the hum.
So you think he like recognizes?
Well,
like,
maybe he gets now we're all singing. So he's going, I was thinking, and then you copy him. And he'll be like, I'm talking to you. He'll be like, I was just continuing your hum.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird how you would...
When I talk, you hum.
Yeah, so
I thought this was like the game.
What the problem is?
You gotta go. I think this is one of those things where the solution is to be as crazy as him.
Yeah.
You have to reflect. You have to mirror. So maybe you hum with him. Maybe you hum when the silence starts. You keep, you extend the hum.
What do you think would happen if she was just like, hey, it really bothers me how much you hum?
You can't be bothered by it.
Okay.
I think because if you go bothered... You don't like music?
Yeah,
oh, I'm just happy. I'm just a happy-go-lucky guy.
Right.
I would go, I think there's another way to go, hey, what song are you humming?
Oh, okay.
What song you doing?
Yeah.
What? Well, you're humming. I wanted to know what song it was. I loved the tune. I thought I recognized it.
But then I would be worried about spurring him on and making him be like, oh, you like that? Like you get louder with it?
At least you can see where this is coming from. Like,
right.
And then... there's an ending to it because now it's been acknowledged as like, I can hear this.
Yeah.
So you go, because the husband is no help. The husband has proven himself no help. He is a wuss. He is opting out of this. He hears it. He's just like, I'm not telling my dad to stop humming.
Maybe he was even self-conscious about it when he was a kid.
Totally.
And
like all my friends used to make fun of it.
He's moved past it.
They called him Spencer the Hummer.
They've had a big heart-to-heart about it. He's been like, why do you hum so much? He's like, I have to.
This is, I think sometimes when you understand it, you're okay with it.
Yeah, exactly.
She thinks, and I understand she has this misophonia,
something like that.
But I think once you get it, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I think once he is told, what's the song? You go, because if he's like, I don't notice it.
Yeah.
Then no one notices it.
I wonder if he's doing it to just like avoid his own thoughts. So maybe my approach would be like, hey, Bill, you ever think about death? And then, and then that sort of cuts it for a second.
I mean, this is his therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, why are you humming? Well, I'm just trying to stop thinking of the war.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I listen to music so I don't have to be with my thoughts.
Of course. I listen
Right.
to that's why people listen to this podcast.
Of
We're
course.
helping someone. How about you suggest the podcast to this father-in-law? Hey, man.
Yeah, get some
it seems like
earbuds
you're
in his
humming because
ears.
you're fucking sad.
Yeah.
Do you want some antidepressants or a podcast?
But you can't be the person that shuts down. You can't shit on people's baby photos. You can't keep somebody from humming that's in a good mood because then you're an asshole.
I hate music means I am a crazy person.
Yeah,
because
I'm no fun.
People say to me, they're like, oh, you like music? I'm like, I'm not like a big fan of any band. I don't have like a taste in music. I go on this like long-winded explanation every time they bring it up where I'm like, no, I like music. Like that'd be insane for me to like not like music, but it's like I just don't have a taste for it.
Right.
You know, it's not like I'm like I know every Beatles song. It's not like I could put on the local Kiss station, whatever the top 40 is, and be like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like someone who doesn't like food. It's not that they don't like food. It's that they don't care about the food.
And I care about music. I don't really care about food. I eat the same shit like every day, and I try to make it healthy. And if I'm at a nice restaurant, yeah, of course, I enjoy it, but I'm not going out of my way. That's not what I spend my money on.
Totally agree. It's the same. It is the same thing for me with
I've
concerts.
actually not heard that explanation before, and that makes perfect sense to me because I love music, and sometimes I'm like, why doesn't everybody?
Yes,
no, this makes perfect sense.
You know, it's like I even get in a position where I'm like, I don't know, I want to listen to music, and I go, I don't even know what the fuck I would put on.
Yeah, I want to cook, but I'm like, where to start? I'll make eggs again.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. We're here with Michael Rowland at Michael Rolando _O in the minivan. That's the podcast. Luxury Lounge, paid to do nothing. Jared, love the pod. It's been getting me through these long-ass work days where I have literally nothing to do. I work in the animation industry. It's a skill-based industry, hard to get into, and it could be a lot of work. But I genuinely love the work and the creative problem-solving. I'm lucky to have had a great jumpstart into my career and worked hard to become a highly sought-after animator despite having less than 3 years' experience. Wow. Love it. Fast forward to today. I was hired at a large feature animation studio on a movie I really love and being paid 6 figures.
Woo.
The issue, I have absolutely nothing to do. My work has been put on hold for 7 weeks now. I am waiting for a different department to go back and make fixes. I can't help but feel guilty with my high salary and all my coworkers around me working overtime since we are nearing the project deadline. I can't fully enjoy this time off since I have to be available all day in case there is an update with my shot. I'm so darn bored and frustrated. Honestly, having nothing to do at all is stressing me out more than having too much work to do. Friends around me keep telling me to just enjoy this time and play video games or go on a nice walk, and I just want to scream into the void. I genuinely want to work on this movie. What is the point of working on a big feature film if I have nothing to show for it? Give me some damn work.
Ooh, I got a lot about this one.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think this is the nature of one of those jobs. I have friends with higher paying jobs, and there's times where you have a ton to do, and there's times where you have nothing to do.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah. And you don't have to use that time doing bullshit. You don't have to do video games. You can do stuff that enriches you.
That's part of the problem to me is someone goes, well, write the next American novel. And you go, nah, I got to fucking write the next American novel. Like I can't. And then you're like, why? What's wrong with me? I have nothing that I can do. I have nothing to show for all this extra time.
Yeah.
So it becomes stressful. I can totally understand with this person. Also, the day moves quicker when you're busy.
Of course.
When you got things to do, first of all, I eat less. I'm more productive. I'm walking more. I got things to do.
And you feel good. You end the day feeling like, oh, yeah.
This is what pushes people to a drug problem.
Yeah.
Anytime
or
I
humming.
see the humming or the or no nothing to do. Anytime I see a do it yourself checkout, the self checkout, I'm like that used to be a human being.
Yeah.
That is now under a bridge doing drugs. And it's like this person is in the same position.
Right.
This person is in this position where they're like, I could play video games. I could have a drink.
I can't help thinking,
I could go get some heroin. You know, like when the options are slim.
But there could be, and you can learn any skill. Sometimes I want people to be more imaginative about how they use their time. Because you can literally, I mean, obviously you have to be on call. But it's like, yeah, you can do so much with it if you choose to. But time is a luxury. And yeah, you can't fully relax. But I can't help feeling like you can find something worthwhile.
Yeah, I don't know. That's also the problem. It's like, well, what did you do with your free time?
Yeah. I mean, that was the big question out of quarantine.
Yeah.
Of course.
I guess a language would be a suggestion.
Sure.
Read a book. But all those sound boring to me. I'd rather be on fucking Instagram scrolling, looking at a baby with
Hey,
mucus on
do
it.
something for that too, man. I mean, shit. I like to
If
go
I were
on the
this person,
TikTok
I'd start drawing. They're an
Is that what you do?
animation,
Right?
Let's get some doodles up on Instagram and start drawing wet babies and shit.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know. The world needs more beauty and art and fun and interesting, and this person has the ability to put it out there.
Yeah. And I'm curious what movie they're working on. I mean, as far as problems
If it's
go,
one
a
of
good
the
problem.
Minions movies, I had this realization the other day. Minions have been around my whole life.
No, have they?
Dude,
where did they
I
come
saw
into?
I saw that movie Gru. What is it called? The
Despicable Me?
Despicable Me. When Despicable Me came out, I go, well, this is a fucking bomb.
Yeah.
And then Minions became a thing.
Yeah, they did.
And then I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't think I've seen any of these movies, but I love the idea of Minions. I think they're cute. I think they're funny, and I'm always happy to see them.
They're Russian, I think. They have like an accent. I just can't believe. I just can't believe that Minions will be around. Like, I'll be on my deathbed and Minions will still be around.
Okay, so maybe they don't write the next great American novel, but they could do the next Minion.
I mean, they're working. Maybe they're working on the Minions. I just can't believe they lasted this long.
I don't know how. They really caught on.
They're everywhere.
They are. I still see them. They're in memes. Always happy to see one of the guys.
They're funny in memes.
They are. I think, isn't there like a Minion Land? Isn't
I'm
there
sure it's
a
Nickelodeon.
theme park that's built around Minions or some shit?
Well, there was Pixar, and
Right.
that was the original like Pixar movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then this other animation studio came in, and I was like, ugh, I can't even look at that. It always looked different to me.
Right.
And they are a part of that group, and I
Okay.
think that's like Nickelodeon, Universal Studios. They have their own
Right on.
version of Pixar.
Pixar. Who did Pixar used to be partnered with?
They're
Three?
Disney.
Oh, Disney?
They're
okay.
still, yeah. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Glass shower doors.
Ooh. I'm listening.
Jared Feather, your biggest fan from Pittsburgh, PA, is coming to you for a luxury issue complaint. I was visiting my twin sister who lives out of state, and she and my brother-in-law graciously hosted me at her brand new home while I was in town. Their master bedroom has a full bathroom complete with a large shower that has glass walls and a door. Before I showered, my sister asked me to squeegee the glass when I was done to prevent the buildup of soap scum and to keep the glass looking spotless. I said okay and hopped in the shower. Upon my entering, I saw 2 squeegees for the glass that I was supposed to use when I was done. I mean, this is an insane ask. When you work at the gas station, you get done, you're going to be naked. Like, you got to do the whole thing? This is crazy. You're naked.
It's
Can you
such a
imagine being
weird ask.
I don't want to touch industrial items when I'm naked.
Not at all.
I don't want to be squeegeeing. I don't want to change a tire.
I don't want my luxury to give me more work.
No.
A nice, luxurious shower where now.
I love a glass door. It keeps the heat in. I hate the curtain.
Oh,
The curtain
yeah.
touches you. It feels like it's just this like
It's gross.
moist, like fucking thing that, it's just gross.
Yeah.
And the squeegee it's like solving a mouse problem with a cat. Now you
Yeah.
got a cat problem. Like solving the glass problem with a squeegee problem. Now I'm a janitor.
Yeah.
Every time I shower in your home,
I feel like it adds just a subtle feeling of uncleanliness to yourself after you've just cleaned yourself off.
absolutely. You're picking up something.
Yeah.
I said okay and hopped in the shower. Upon my entering, 2 squeegees for the glass that I was supposed to use when I was done. I'm all for helping when I'm a guest in their home. Of
course.
But bending over while butt-ass naked and freezing to squeegee all glass walls and a door before I exit to dry off is annoying. I totally agree it's annoying. Why don't these expensive showers have a better way to keep them clean without using a squeegee after every use? I'll keep my 1980s tile in my bathroom. At least I don't have to squeegee that after every use.
Yeah.
Thank you for the laughs and a safe place to air grievances.
Every use of the shower?
Well, this is the thing. You were not ready to have glass doors in your shower. If you don't have the ability to clean the house properly or hire someone to come in and clean the house properly, then you don't have the ability to have a shower with a glass door.
You don't go to dinner if you can't tip.
That's right.
Yeah.
And this is what they're doing. They're going, well, we don't want to have a housekeeper come in every week. So instead, here are your rubber gloves. Here's your squeegee. Enjoy your shower.
Also,
what?
you could clean the toilet when you're done with the shower. But it's like, this feels like something you could do once a week. It's not every use.
This is the point. They don't want to do it once a week.
Yeah.
It's their guest shower. So they don't want to hire a housekeeper.
Right.
So they're saying, we'll hire a housekeeper once a month. And in between, anyone who uses the shower, here's your squeegee. Here's your soap.
I wonder, this feels like a Miyagi thing. I don't know. I feel like maybe they were a bad guest in the past, and they were like, no, I'll be a good guest. And it's like this little test. They're like, yeah, you can stay here, but every time you have to squeegee the shower. And you're just like,
they get to the house, on their bed is laid out a janitor's costume and
please enjoy your
sponges and I don't know. I don't want to work at a gas station.
No.
This is the equivalent.
The master bedroom. They gave her the master bedroom?
I don't know. Is this the? Well, maybe they. Their master bedroom has a beautiful bathroom complete with large. Oh, before I shower, why is she showering in the master bedroom?
Don't know.
That's a weird part.
This feels like they can't afford the home.
Well, they're mad at her for wanting to use their shower.
Yeah.
So they're like, clean it up. I think that. To me, I'm using the other shower. I'm not using the I don't want to see what's going on in someone else in my my brother's master shower. I don't need to be in there. There's two issues at foot. They shouldn't. And listen, I can't imagine being in a marriage where my wife is like, "Did you squeegee?" And I'll be like, "I don't even know if I wipe myself."
Yeah.
Michael Rowland, thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. Was this good?
A pleasure. This is fantastic. Everyone go follow Michael at Michael Rolando _O. In the minivan. That's the podcast. Get subscribed. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. Keep telling your friends. Spread the word. We'll be back next week. Boom.